Alright y'all, so we're back with another top 5 video for Mobile Legends. We're going to be talking about the best heroes, and one thing that I've actually noticed is that I've never actually done a video like this before. So basically when I make my top 5 videos, I'm either talking about the best or the worst, and when I classify them as the best, it's usually based solely off of power or something like that. But one of the biggest messages that I like to talk about on this channel is how everything is mental. Your biggest strength, your biggest value comes from your mind. So it's not necessarily how powerful someone is, it's how you use them versus how the other team uses them and stuff like that. Obviously there's factors that's out of your control, but we're not going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about just the potential of certain heroes and how they can be used, and the actual impact of the character itself. And that's what we're going to be talking about when it comes to the best heroes. So that being said, what I want you all to do for me is in the comment section down below, make sure you write the top 5 best heroes right now. I want to know the top 5 best heroes in your opinion, talking about brute strength, and also the top 5 best heroes that just brings value. And if you need to wait till after you see my list, you can do that as well, so you can actually see what I'm talking about and hear some of my thoughts and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted you all to know that this list is going to be a little bit different. So yeah, it's gonna be a variety of different types of heroes, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. So as always, let's see if we can get this video to 500 likes. I definitely appreciate that, and yeah, let's jump right into it. So the first hero that I've been thinking about for this list is definitely going to be Gajin. Now the reason that he's on this list is obviously because his power right now, his power in the meta, how strong he is. He's just a huge factor. He's like Ruby, but much more effective. He's much more effective. He has much more mobility, and he's just deadly. He's very, very deadly. So his brute strength and his power makes him stand out so much to the point where he's just very, very dominant. And even with nerfs and changes, it's kind of hard. It's going to be kind of hard to stop this guy simply because of his kit and how valuable his kit is. So Gajin, I feel like, is one of those heroes that's potentially timeless. He's definitely one of those heroes that's always going to have a huge impact in Mobile Legends. I don't know, unless they release some type of new crazy heroes that do something even better. I think that that's definitely a possibility, but even still, I don't see Gajin really going anywhere outside of the meta because of how effective he still is. So I think that he was just a great hero, very well designed, smart abilities and stuff. So I think that he just fits well in the game, and that's what makes him so powerful, makes him so strong. And he takes a lot of, like, what I've noticed in Mobile Legends lately is that a lot of qualities from their best heroes, they're starting to put a lot of those qualities in the newer heroes as well, kind of like they're doing with the new marksman coming out. The new marksman that's coming out, they're making him similar to some of the older heroes, some of the older marksmen, taking some of the best qualities of those marksmen and putting it within him. So I think that this is what was done with Gajin, and that's what makes him so strong. But another hero that's going to be coming up, and also this list is in no particular order, but another hero, the next hero we're going to be talking about is Saber. Now the reason that Saber makes this list is because ever since I have joined the Mobile Legends community, Saber has been useful. Now at absolutely no point has Saber just had the impact of one of the most powerful heroes in the game. I've never even heard him mentioned in the conversation as when it comes to the most powerful heroes in the game. But when you talk about the most consistent heroes, the most precise heroes, and the most impactful heroes, you have to mention Saber, because Saber has been here from the start. He's been consistently great from the start, and he's good for what he's good for, and that's pretty much countering anything. So if you come across a certain meta right now is dominating, and you want to make sure that you can stop a certain character or a certain hero or something, Saber is always the pick that you want to go for, because he's good at that. He's good at shutting down any one person, and I feel like that strength alone is very, very valuable to a team. And I don't think that value can be replicated with any other hero in Mobile Legends. I don't think that there's another hero as good at doing what Saber does as Saber. Saber can literally counter everyone. Fanny, like all the most overpowered heroes in the game, like any hero you will ever see on one of my old top 5 heroes, where in terms of just brute power and stuff like that, when it comes down to countering them, he can stop them. He can stop them for enough time for your team to make a play. Even if he can't just absolutely obliterate every single hero instantly, he can slow them down long enough for your team to come together, make a play, and change the tide of the game, which is what makes Saber the most deadly counter to just pretty much everyone that there is in Mobile Legends to date. So yeah, Saber definitely had to get on this list. I had to show him some love because he's one that's pretty much missed out on all my lists before, because I never thought of it like that. I never thought of the impact that he has, but his impact in Mobile Legends is huge. But one thing that I will say, because I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, I will say, don't just try to use Saber every single game. You have a reason, have a purpose for them. Like, one thing that's common in Mobile Legends is people try to be like their favorite YouTubers, or they try to be like their favorite pro player or whatever, and they don't understand the reasons behind certain decisions. Saber is a counter hero. He's not just a hero that you want to use for no reason. So when you're using Saber, make sure it's used for a hero that needs Saber to counter them. Otherwise, you're just going to be at a disadvantage, because let's say you use Saber to try to counter some hero, like the other team just has a Layla. Any assassin can destroy a Layla. So basically, you're getting a hero that's only good with singling out one player at a time, when you could use any assassin who could take out multiple players. Like Gaijin can take out a whole group of people, and that's what makes him so powerful. So if you choose an assassin as your assassin that can only focus one person, make sure that one person is so strong you need an assassin just to take out that person, like Fanny. Fanny's speed and Fanny's mobility, she needs to be stopped. And Saber is pretty much one of the only people who can do that as effectively as he can. So it's different instances where you use different heroes. So I want to make that distinction so you all are clear on what I'm trying to say here. So hopefully you all get what I mean. But let's move on to the next one. Here. This one is going to be an interesting one as well, especially since some upcoming meta changes are in the works. But we're going to talk about it. So the next hero we're going to be talking about is Leslie. So there's going to be an interesting change coming to some items in Mobile Legends, and yeah, it's going to be some big changes, but we're going to talk about that in a different video. So we're going to talk about how people think that marksman might be ending, or at least they're going to be switching from crit towards attack speed and stuff like that. We're going to be discussing that very soon in an upcoming video, but for this one, I want to stick on the fact of why Leslie is still going to be dominant no matter what, basically. So Leslie has come into the game. She's been able to do insane crit. Like, she hits like what over 2,000 sometimes, and it's absolutely insane what she's capable of doing. And I think that that's why such drastic measures are being taken to stop her. So it is going to be interesting to see certain things when it comes to Leslie once these changes do take effect. But one thing about Leslie is it doesn't change the fact that she's able to basically stop herself from being hit for X amount of time by using her first ability. She can escape certain situations depending on how close you are, and then you also want to combine that with Flicker. That way you have a little bit more wiggle room to get away from certain situations, especially when assassins dive you, which if you're using Leslie, you're going to be dove a lot, especially by the by very powerful assassins like Gaijin or Saber. Obviously Saber would not be a choice to use when it comes down strictly to trying to stop Leslie. That would be a bad pick for just Saber alone. But Leslie's impact has been pretty dominant for the longest. But Leslie, she brings a lot to the table because of her ultimate as well. So she can constantly check around her. I feel like she's pretty much the safest ADC to play. She's pretty much the safest to play because it's hard to sneak up on Leslie because of the effect of her ultimate. So it's very rare when you get caught off guard. You shouldn't be getting caught off guard that much with Leslie. You shouldn't be in too many situations where you don't really know who's around you, because your ultimate is like a beacon. It's like a beacon, and you can hit it at any time to pretty much see where anyone is. I think that for those reasons, she's always going to be pretty much in the meta. She's pretty much going to be just strong as always, because she has so much more value than just the huge amount of damage she does. Everyone looks at Leslie and they see just the damage, the sheer amount of damage that no one can keep up with. That's what they see when they look at Leslie. But without that, what is Leslie? Leslie is still pretty dominant without that aspect of her being able to do like insane damage. But obviously being able to 1 and 2 shot people, of course that's going to be a lot prettier when you're trying to just destroy teams. But if they balance that out and lower it a little bit more, it's not going to be it's not going to be really the end of Leslie, because then she's just going to become a regular hero, a regular character where you need to play a little bit more wisely and stuff, and she has the abilities and skills so you can play wise and still do a lot of damage. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that a little bit more in an upcoming video, but I just wanted to talk about this real quick right now to explain why Leslie is dominant, and I think that she's going to be dominant for upcoming months to come, years maybe, I don't know. However long she's the, well, actually they have a new ADC coming out, so we might be redoing this video soon, but who knows. So we'll just say Leslie is fine right now. Leslie is one of the top heroes, and I don't see that changing in the near future. So moving on to the next one here, we have Johnson or Hylos. Now, this really comes down to preference. I'm more of a Hylos type of guy. That's just what I enjoy, and I think that, but Hylos, I feel like he does require more teamwork. He does require more coordination, because he can't just go around the map whenever he wants to. So Johnson has mobility where he can just hop into car form and go chase down whoever he wants to, and as a tank he can go initiate on absolutely anyone, and there's not much that they can really do about it, because I mean, it's Johnson. He can tank tower damage, and then if you have teammates there with you, it's pretty much over when he just comes in car form and he stuns the first person and the team just jumps on him and gets to destroying them. So Johnson is very valuable for that reason, but Hylos is very, very hard to take down, and he dishes out so much damage for a tank. For a tank, Hylos's damage output is pretty insane. It's much higher than Johnson's. So Johnson is just pretty annoying to take down, but Hylos is pretty annoying and he's pretty powerful. So that's what I think is the distinction there. I think that both of these heroes are great picks, but it really comes down, like I said, it comes down to preference. What your team, and I think team strategy more so than even just preference, team strategy. So because even if you prefer a certain hero, that doesn't mean the other one wouldn't be better for certain situations. So when it comes down to it comes down to team strategy ultimately. Are you going to have the type of team comp where you want to drive around and attack people, and like you're going to have some type of weird laning situation going on where you're going to have to be able to get to the other lane quickly, or are you going to have a situation where you're basically playing through your tank, so everyone's already gathered behind your tank anyway, so there's no need to just drive around it to try to reposition or anything like that. So it comes down to how you play and the decisions that you make basically before the team fight even starts. So that's what's going to be a deciding factor on which one of these heroes you want to use, but I definitely think these two are the top two in the conversation right now. Moving on, we have the last hero we're going to be talking about, which is Martis. Martis, since he came out on the scene, he was actually a shock how impactful he was going to be to the game. I didn't think that he was going to have the type of impact that he had. Obviously, I didn't understand his skills well enough, but since he's come out, he's really been good at crowd control. He's very good at crowd control. He can group people together. He can grab people, stop them in their tracks, and that's very, very huge. Changes have been made to him here and there, and I think that the thing with Mobile Legends and the expectations of the community is every hero is just supposed to be a hero where you can just absolutely destroy people. You're supposed to be able to just obliterate everyone with the heroes you use, when in reality it's a team game. So the fact that Martis has such heavy crowd control, like in the seconds that Martis is grabbing somebody, even if he did zero damage at all, think about how huge that impact is for his team still, because in the seconds where he's grabbing them, that leaves them basically, they can't do anything. So your team can jump on them and your team can do all the damage to them, still destroy them, and that by itself can change the tides of an entire game. So obviously we don't see much teamwork like that in the Mobile Legends community. We see it sometimes, but we don't see teamwork like that. But that's how these heroes are intended to be played. Like if certain heroes did zero damage, their effect wouldn't change, and I think Martis is one of those heroes where the effect wouldn't change because his value comes from the fact that he's able to have so much crowd control. He's so deadly in that way. So and also he does have the damage. He does have some damage output, and that obviously makes it even better. It makes him even better and even stronger. So yeah, Martis is definitely one of the best heroes in the game because of the impact that he can have for solo and with a team. So that's pretty much it, man. These are some of my thoughts. Like I said, make sure you leave your list down below. Let me know if you agree with my list. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you have some different thoughts on why certain heroes you would kind of put over some heroes in my list. Let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop that thumbs up as always. Subscribe to the channel if you're new for more Mobile Legends content and other gaming content. And I'm going to catch you all on the next one, family. Peace out, yo.
I'm on it. Can't fail for my family. I want it. So they'll never need hope or want it. A break, just something that I don't